Kiddush Hashem, sanctifying the name of God.
Kiddush Hashem?
Yeah. In our parsha, we read 3 words, V'nigdashti b'seich b'nei Yisrael, 4 words, and I will become holy between the sons of Israel. In our parsha, we have the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem. What is Kiddush Hashem? How does the Torah says, V'leisechalu l'Shem kodshi. Don't, violate my holy name. Make it holy between the Jewish people. This mitzvah teaches us that a Jew has to give his life away, God forbid, give life away to die, but not to lichpir b'HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not to deny Hashem's existence. When he does that, with that, he is sanctifying the name of God. If a goy comes to you and says, tell me that there is no God, tell me you don't believe in God, he doesn't exist, or whatever the language is. So over there, a Jew is not allowed to agree, even if it costs his life. He has to sanctify Hashem's name by not accepting it. Giving his life away, this is how he's sanctifying Hashem's name. The Rabbi says in Kiddush Hashem we have a few categories. One category is that a person's giving his life away to die, but practically Hashem does a miracle and he saves him. Like Avraham Avinu, when Nimrod told them, stop telling me that there is a God, Avraham Avinu says, no, I will not stop because it's true, I'll throw you in the fire. Avraham Avinu didn't give up. Avraham Avinu didn't know that Hashem is planning to save him. Avraham Avinu, when he was thrown into fire, he knew that's it, he's giving his life away for the sanctity of God. He didn't thought, and then what's going to be later, and who's going to continue the job that he started? He says, God is the boss in the world. I have to do what I can, and then I cannot take care of everything. I have to do what God told me to do. The rest, God will take care. Then there is another one, when a Jew actually is being killed for the sanctity of Hashem's name. The question is, which of this is higher? The one that he is ready to be killed, but Hashem saves him, or the one that he actually is being killed because he's a Jew? So the Rambam's, his opinion is that main thing of Kiddush Hashem is when a person actually is being killed for the Eibishter, practically for his belief. This shows the strong faith of a Jew in Hashem, that even till it comes to the point that he is ready to be killed, literally here. The other Jew, this Jew, he says, sanctified Hashem's name in this world and showed to all the world his connection to God. That is more precious to him than his life. Therefore, Harugi Malchus, the one that was killed by the governments, are standing in the highest level. On Yom Kippur, we read about the Asor Harugi Malchus. This is the highest because they actually gave their life away. According to the Rambam, the Jew who lived and was ready to die, but Hashem saved him, he survived. He says it's great, but he didn't reach that level, the one actually who gave his life away. However, we see the Medrash says that if a person throws himself to die and Hashem makes a mess and he saves his life, over here is even bigger Kiddush Hashem. Not only that everybody sees that he was ready to give his life away, but over here Hashem revealed his hand and saved the Jew who is devoted to him. Like in the case of Avraham Avinu, that he saved Avraham Avinu. Avraham Avinu wasn't actually killed. More than that, the Medrash sees in it a special zchut, a special merit that this Jew merited, to the point that the Medrash brings 2 examples of Kiddush Hashem. One is Hanani, Mishol, and Azariah. That they agreed to be thrown to fire, but practically there was a miracle and they were saved. The other example he gives, Marianus Harosha, one of the kings, one of the leaders or the generals of the Roman Empire, that he took two Jews to be killed, Pappus and Lulianus. So Pappus told them, if you are the goy told to the Jew, he says, if you are from the nation of Hanani, Mishol, Azariah, let God come and save you. Because we throw them in this and they were saved. If you are from the Jewish people from this, so let me see, God will do for you the same. They answered him, Hanani, Mishol, Azariah were kosher people. And Nebuchadnezzar was a proper king. So therefore he deserved that through him they will see a big miracle. But you are a Rasha, you are a wicked man, and you don't deserve that Hashem should do a miracle through you. So, and they, in other words, they said, and we deserve to be punished, to be killed. And we have to die anyway. And you don't deserve a miracle, that's why Hashem gave you to do this. So the Rebbe says, from this medrash we learn that when Hashem makes a miracle and saves a person that gave himself away to die, there is a bigger schus, and the Kiddush Hashem is even stronger than when he dies, according to the Medrash. The Rambam says that actually when he gave his life away, that's bigger. The Medrash looks not that he gave away, what kind of impression it made in the world. And the one who actually everybody says he was ready to die, but Hashem mixed in, that's even a bigger Kiddush Hashem. But everybody agrees that when a Jew gives his life away of Kiddush Hashem, he's not allowed to think, I'm going to fire, God will save me. When the Jew gives his life away, he goes there with full readiness to die for Hashem. According to the Rambam, he has to think that way. Because, as we said, if Hashem saves him, then the Kiddush Hashem is already not on the level that if Hashem doesn't save him, according to the Rambam's opinion. The Medrash says the main thing is the one who gives himself away to die and Hashem does a miracle. So it says the Hashem doesn't do a miracle for the one who doesn't deserve. Therefore, when you think about the miracle, so you see that the miracle that Hashem did brought a bigger holiness to everybody, through not only that the Jew was ready to die, but also Hashem mixed in and made a big miracle. According to the Medrash, this is higher. Yes?
In other words, is to say that millions of Jews was killed by through the
they reached the level of Asor Aruge Malchus.
But the only exception was a few of the Jews, like our father Avraham Avinu or Michael, as Azariah.
Yeah.
So that's even a greater miracle.
Correct. Correct. But also in World War II, 6 million Jews died.
Not just 6, before that and before.
Yeah. But I'm talking in the war. But there were thousands of Jews who survived.
That's right.
And they were there. They had to die. Everyone who survived could tell you stories when he had to die 10 times, 20 times, 100 times. The guy was shooting at him, and then he turned away, and then he ran. Like crazy stories, how they survived. Each one is a unbelievable miracle. So this is like the one Hashem made him a miracle and saved them. Like somebody asked, it was Rabbi Mendel. He was a survivor from the Holocaust. He was a secretary by the Rebbe. He was writing the Rebbe's letters in English. When the Rebbe wanted letters in English, he used to come in, the Rebbe dictated in English, he wrote it and then sent the letter. So he wrote about 80,000 letters. It's not printed yet, soon it's going to be printed. Just in English. And over there is so many things that we don't have it in the Hebrew letters because it's question from the world and science and stocks. And no, it's not there. That's the Hebrew and Yiddish. A few letters in Russian, but the English was not there. So he was asked, he's a survivor, they asked him, after you saw all the horrors, how can you still believe in Hashem? He says, you're asking me? He says, after I had to die so many times, and I saw all the miracles, how I survived, how can I not believe in Hashem? Depends on what you look at. He was lucky, Hashem saved him, and then he came out and he built a family and he has children and grandchildren. He already passed away, but I'm saying this.
What about the 20% of Am Yisrael?
Yes.
What about the other 80%?
The other 80%.
We still count it as a success. We did only 20%.
They didn't want to go, so they stayed there. There is an opinion that Mashiach will come, will take them out as well. But so far, no. V'yehi rotzen. After this, Rabbi explaining the two levels of Kiddush Hashem, the Rebbe should be the will of Hashem. That through learning the halachas of Kiddush Hashem, we should very soon merit that the nullification of the Golus, that brings Chilul Hashem, it brings this, actually Hashem is being, says, here is your people, here you're on Sevam, here is what's happening, so many wrong things are happening in the world, and this Hashem's name is actually desecrated. And it will be, it says, Hashem's name will become holy in the whole world, and all the Goyim will know, all the nations will know I'm God. The Rabbi says we shouldn't have to do the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem, we should only learn the mitzvah of Kiddush Hashem and bring the redemption when Kiddush Hashem will, Hashem's name is going to be so holy in the whole world, there will be no need to make His name in this world more holy. Today Hashem's name is desecrated, so there is still a need in sanctifying His name. That's why all the generations we had a mitzvah like that. Mashiach comes, the mitzvah is still there because but there is no need of the mitzvah anymore. Like I gave in the example, if I have a roof that people could walk, I have to make a gate around. But I live in a house, and the roof in my house is like this, so there's no way to walk there. I don't have to make a ma'akah. So the mitzvah is there, but the mitzvah has rules. When you have a flat roof, then you have to make sure that nobody could fall. So the same thing, when Mashiach will come, certain things will make a shift, but the shift is going to be because the mitzvah will still stay. And then we'll learn spiritually the mitzvah, the meaning, and so on. Physically, implementation, some of them may not have. Not that the mitzvah disappeared, because we achieved it. With Hashem's God is so sanctified in the world, we don't have to sanctify it more. Living a godly life, that's the sanctification. Understand God more and learn Torah more. As we know, the whole world is going to be busy with one thing, to learn God, to understand God. Jews and non-Jews, the entire humanity will be busy with one thing. And I say it, and the question is how we're going to survive, who is going to make our clothes and prepare food and table and build a house. And this is Rabbi Elon Musk gave the answer. Why is he called Rabbi? Because he gave an answer that nobody could answer. What is that? Creation of a robot. Now we understand. Torah says everyone in the world is going to be busy learning God, nothing else. The Rambam says no, even non-Jew will be nothing else but learning God. But how does everything happen? So till then we didn't know. We said, I don't know. God says so. Something is going to happen. We don't know. Today we know already. We know there is a robot that is already working. And there is already a robot to fix the robots. Even if the robot breaks, there is a robot to fix it.
Back in the days, they said how the lady can, at the same time, how can it bring the birth in Israel?
Correct.
And nobody knew, but now we know there is a plane, right? There was some kind of the time in the Talmud. They said that the woman
on the wings of a bird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Come to Eretz Yisrael, yeah. So now we know it's a plane. But then there is another saying. It says that a Jew, every Shabbos, Midi Shabbos b'Shabbat will go to Yerushalayim, daven in the Beis Hamikdash. Can you imagine? I live in Tzfas, I live in the Hermon, I live in Be'er Sheva. Shabbos morning prayers in the Beis Hamikdash takes hours and hours to walk, or a day. And then my wife at home is waiting for Kiddush. How will I get back?
What if you overseas?
So exactly. So the answer is we will travel on a cloud. He says cloud is very nice. No car, you don't have to start an engine. But there is a problem. Tchum Shabbos. You're not allowed to travel. Not allowed to travel if there is 2,000 amas between a house and house, between cities.
Out of the city.
So comes Torah now and explains that Tchum Shabbos. So what is the answer? How can we travel from anywhere on earth to come Shabbos morning? We're all going to be in the Beis Hamikdash for davening, for Shachris. I don't know what's nusach we're going to work out. Sanhedrin is going to give a nusach. So the chazan is going, everybody adds, will be one nusach for all Jewish people. Davening in Yiddish. The answer is halachically. Nobody asking. Nobody's excited. They're just excited in the technicalities. So how are we going to travel on Shabbos from wherever I live to Yerushalayim and come back for lunch? For Shabbos with my family, with my guest? The answer is Tchum Shabbos is only till a certain height. Eser Ames, Eser Tfochim. The minute the cloud brings you up above that level, over there you're allowed to travel. Over there there's no problems to travel.
Yeah, but what speed?
And speed? What's the problem? Hashem has a problem with speed.
That's what I want to see.
You're afraid you're going to fall off this. The cloud will give you a floor, and some part of the cloud will be also walls. So you're not going to have the wind. Your keeper is not going to fly.
2000 years, they also probably wanted to see how is it possible. They didn't know what's the
We didn't know, but now,
No.
correct? But on Shabbos at the plane you can't go. But the cloud still works. The cloud works. And by the way, today now we have private. A guy could take something, and what is it called? That he flies and travels. He could deliver stuff. What is it? Drones. Yeah. So now we know there is drones, but drones still on Shabbos is a problem. But there will be,
But there's another point. The missiles that come to Israel, as high as they are, they cover more. So if you
Correct.
you just eat one city, but if you're high, you can eat 10.
But then becomes another question. Where in Yerushalayim, near the Beis Hamikdash, is going to be so much landing space? Can you imagine? From all over the place, they're coming landing. I know. Okay. But the Beis Hamikdash is still one. You want to daven, everybody's going to be in the Azorah. In the Beis Hamikdash means inside.
It's already from the book that in Yom Kippur it was.
There's room for everybody. So now we're going to see it not just once a year, Yom Kippur or whatever Rosh Hashanah, to 3 holidays a year, every Shabbat. Midday Shabbos b'Shabbat and Chedesh b'Chodesh. That's what the Tanakh says. We're going to daven in Tanakh, the prophets.
That's very exciting.
It is. Can't wait. That's why we have to serve Hashem a little stronger, a little more, and bring the Geula, and we'll be able to practice Shabbos morning. Can you imagine staying in the Bet HaMikdash, daven with Klal Yisrael? And in the same crowd, there is Moshe Rabbeinu there, there is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai there, there is Rabbi Akiva there, everybody.
Just make sure you have the suits ready.
The Baal Shem Tov is there, all Gedei Yisrael of all the generations. My great-great-great-great-grandparents are there. Everybody is there.
Give me goosebumps.
Well, that goosebumps have to give energy to bring Mashiach. That's what the Rebbe says. Okay, L'chaim.